Hello there and welcome. Now recently I made a couple of videos saying that next Xbox is cancelled and that Xbox is done, Xbox is dead, and to be fair, a lot of people are saying that, but what actually surprised me is the amount of people who responded to that video and even to the poll I put out saying that no, they do think there will be another Xbox despite the fact the writing really appears to be on the wall. In fact, a shout out to the one person who bet me £1,000 that there would indeed be a new Xbox, and I humorously responded saying, okay, well I bet you, but I bet you the next Xbox that the next Xbox doesn't come out. It's that type of camaraderie that I actually like on this channel, and it is great when I get comments like that because I genuinely really love people's opinions and not necessarily arguing back with them, but having a bit of fun. So in terms of the next Xbox, a lot of people saying it's cancelled, and I genuinely believe that the next Xbox console is cancelled. Will we ever get another Xbox home console? I still firmly believe no, but it is not the end of Xbox. I don't think Xbox is well and truly dead just yet. Now, I do make a point in other videos of saying, well, okay, no home console, but the Xbox brand will live on. Whether that means it'll just be a third-party company or whether it'll just focus on Game Pass forever or something like that, it's hard to tell. But the way Phil Spencer always promotes things, says we're excited about the future of Xbox, they're lies. I don't understand why people can't see through him. They may have greenlit the next Xbox console, they may have said they're going to do it, but until you actually see that home console, it doesn't exist. So right now, whether they wanted to release, a different version of the Series X, that round thing that we saw, no, that'll never happen. That's not going to happen. And to say that the next Xbox has been cancelled, yes, I think it has been cancelled. In fact, I'm going to say yes, of course it's been cancelled, because what if they had the plans all done, all set out, and bear with me on this one, they had everything set out, they had everything planned, but they cancelled it and scrapped it and started again. Think about that. What if they cancelled their home console to make a new home console? And I know this kind of goes back on what I've said, and I'm prepared to accept that I was wrong at any point in this process of Microsoft doing whatever, but what if they actually are creating another home console? What if Xbox isn't dead? It's hard to say, because whatever they do, the trust is lost. That's the way to look at it. If you look at the Dreamcast, it wasn't a case of the trust is lost, it just didn't perform well because, well, of what happened with the Sega Saturn. And it's kind of the same with Microsoft's consoles. So you look at the Xbox 360, fantastic console. Xbox, fantastic console. Xbox One, fantastic console. Series X, fantastic console. But the key here is that they dropped the ball big time with the Xbox One. That reveal of saying Xbox 360 is for people that don't want to be always online. You can't trade in your games. Don Mattrick single-handedly ruined Xbox at that point. The internet never forgets, and so ever since the launch of Xbox One, people have protested, boycotted, whatever. I think that's stupid to do that. Why protest and boycott a console? If you want to buy it, go and buy it. Just because you don't agree with whatever policies they've done, but they've gone back or whatever. I think that's silly. But like I said, the internet never forgets. So having the Xbox Series then come out, people still bitter about the Xbox One. And let's face it, no matter what Xbox do, even if they do release another home console, people are still going to be bitter all these decades later. If you look at, let's say, 2028, Microsoft puts out a home console. Yeah, brilliant, awesome. But Microsoft just don't have a track record of actually telling the truth. Here's another example. Windows 10, that was said to be the last Windows, and they would infinitely update it and do all whatever. Well, guess what? Support's about to end for Windows 10, and we got Windows 11. So what are you on about, Microsoft? Why tell us that Windows 10 was the last Windows platform and you were going to stick with that forever and then release Windows 11? Why? Why do that? Money. That's what it's all about. This is another reason why I don't think there will be another home console. Microsoft wants money. For them, the money is not in the console business. Money is in the software business. It always has been, and that's the way it'll continue for them. They took a plunge with the original Xbox 25 years ago, and it did succeed for probably 10 years or so. 15 years at the most, but it all just went downhill after that. And to say it's no fault of their own is completely wrong, because it is their own fault. They read their audience completely wrong, and there's no denying that. Whether you want to argue with me in the comments or not, it's undeniable that they dropped the ball with the Xbox One. That could have been an awesome console if they'd have just listened to their audience. Think about that. You just think about if the Xbox had been a massive success instead of the PlayStation 4, where would we be now? It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. And another thing I want to address, but I probably will make a different video about this because there's a lot more to get into with it. I personally want another Xbox console. Whether you believe me or not, I really don't care. But I want another Xbox console, because if I don't get another Xbox console, think about what Sony can do then. That's why we need another Xbox console. We all need another Xbox console. But I'll get into that in another video. So what if the next Xbox console is cancelled but has been rebooted to be a newer Xbox? Honestly, they might be looking into it. There's probably some hardware development going on at Microsoft, but that doesn't necessarily mean an actual console is going to come out. And going back to the comment someone made, having a bet with me for £1,000, and I jokingly said that's probably what it's going to be anyway, £1,000 for the Xbox. I think that probably is going to be true. If that does actually happen, Microsoft are only going to do this for proper hardcore people. Think about it. They want the PC market, so they want to bring people in at the PC level. So making £1,000 console with some proper beefy internals, of course, some geeks are going to buy that, some proper nerds, some proper gaming nerds. I would. Believe me, I would absolutely buy that. But at £1,000 or probably $1,300, that's probably pricing a lot of people out. But it would still sell. I have no doubt it would still sell. It's like if Sony released the PlayStation 6 at $1,000, which again is going to be another video because there's some things to talk about with that. People will still buy it. And I think that's a good thing in some ways, because maybe it's refining the gaming industry. So maybe Microsoft can take these lessons that they're learning with the failing Xbox and refine the gaming industry in better ways. Ways which can make us gamers appreciate the games and hardware more. Because let's face it, the gaming market is flooded with garbage. Utter garbage. What if we end up in a crash like we did in the 1980s? Is that ever going to happen? Personally, I don't think so. And if it does, it won't be Microsoft as the reason why that's happening. That's just stupid to think that. But what still does amaze me is the amount of people who are on board with Xbox. I mean, I honestly never thought I would see so many people who really think an Xbox is still coming out, even though there are some other people that just clearly can see that there is no more consoles for Xbox, just none at all. But as always, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think the next gen has been cancelled and rebooted, or do you think it's just been flat out cancelled? Because one thing is for sure, at least in my opinion, that then whatever was going to be the next Xbox has been cancelled. There is no doubt that it was cancelled. Again, whether it is going to be completely done, no more hardware, or whether it will be rebooted into an even better Xbox, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I really do love seeing them, like I say, and I love responding to people as well. Whether you think it's a negative thing to whatever you've commented, me being a bit angry and argumentative, it's not meant to be that way. It's genuinely me being very interested in what you've got to say. There'll be a couple more videos on the screen if you want to click any of those and see more content like this. A little subscribe button just down below if you fancy clicking that and being the first to watch that new content like this. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, give it a dislike if you don't agree with what I've said, and let me know in the comments why. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Take care.